What is a loophole that you found and exploited the hell out of? Was on a cruise ship a few years ago that had a pay-per-minute internet policy. You'd buy like 200 minutes of Wi-Fi access for $100 or whatever crazy price it was. They had a little portal that you went to start and stop the timer, and tell you how much time was remaining. I quickly realized that the timer counted by whole minutes. That is, if I started at 12 hours 0 minutes and 1 second, and stopped it at 12 hours 0 minutes and 58 seconds. Then it counted as 0 minutes of internet use. For the entire cruise I took advantage of this. Start the timer. Fire up your internet apps like Facebook and Instagram and let your timeline and emails download. Or launch a website and let it load. Stop the timer. Browse your feed and photos and read your website and emails offline. Compose posts and replies, etc. Start the timer again to send upload. Stop it again within a minute. I milked those 200 minutes for an entire 3-week cruise and still had 45 minutes left over at the end. I worked at a restaurant in a hotel where you could collect employee bucks of sorts for going above and beyond at your job. You could use them to pay for things like a room stay or food in the hotel restaurant. They were worth $1 each. But you obviously couldn't cash them in for real money. I saved up about $450 worth. Used $100 worth to pay for a hotel room on a day I was working. Bought a soda from myself at the restaurant and tipped myself the extra $350 and signed it all to my room bill. Upon checkout it just shows that I spent $350 at the restaurant. Not a breakdown of the bill. So then I used my employee bucks to pay off the hotel bill and got an extra $350 on my paycheck, minus taxes of course. MoviePass was $10 a month and you could use it to get one movie ticket a day. I lived next door to a Regal. And I went every day because Regal would give their reward points for every ticket purchased. They didn't care that MoviePass was paying for the tickets then giving them to me as part of my subscription. In 8 months I spent $80 on the subscription and saw everything that came out, and I racked up enough Regal rewards points for about 50 free popcorns or drinks. MoviePass went out of business but I still had all the Regal rewards. Right out of college I worked a job that had a 100% match to any retirement contributions. I was young, lived rent-free with my parents, had no student debt, and could grab OT nearly every week. After some budgeting I figured I could throw 80% of my paycheck into retirement. I did so for 9 months until my supervisor called me into the office to sign a policy change that limited retirement contributions to 50%. I'd stashed away nearly $35. On about a $32 annual pay. I had no life for about a year. But damn if it didn't jumpstart my retirement. When I was at university, the pay for campus printers all worked on a system where you'd print your documents. Release them at the printer. They'd print. Then after they've finished printing, it would then contact the server to get the cost deducted from your balance. That final step always took a while, and I discovered in my first year that if I canceled the print job as the final page was rolling out of the printer, it wouldn't deduct the cost from my balance. With this method I got free printing for nearly 2 years before they upgraded the system. We had a situation at my old job, a huge international company, where we'd work shifts. Either the 10th of August 12 hours. Anything after 8 hours was overtime. Sometimes we were scheduled for the next shift quite soon after the last one had ended. For example 5 o'clock to 12 o'clock and then 1900 to 0000. Someone discovered that if there were less than 8 hours between shifts in a 24-hour period, anything after 8 hours total was paid the overtime rate. We did it for ages, and then in the context of some team chat, some twat asked one of the managers whether the above scheduling would still be feasible. Turned out the management hadn't even noticed and stopped it immediately. And back to minimum wage we went. When my brothers and I were 6 to 10 years old, we found a crane candy game where you were guaranteed to win something. We found a laser sensor in the area where you pick up your prize. This indicated whether or not something had dropped. So, By holding the flap door open at the bottom, the sensor was never triggered, so for 25 cents we nearly emptied the machine. Thanks Red Robin. Early in the smartphone world there was an app that gave you points for watching TV shows and ads that you could turn in for gift cards or discount codes. The rewards were not great, but over time and by waiting for gift card restock you could make out like a bandit. However, the shows they wanted you to watch were not my cup of tea, a lot of primetime shows and reality shows, and I wasn't home for a lot of them, so I thought I was Saul. Turns out, the app had a grace period where if you had recorded the show on your TV you could still get credit. So I just pirated the shows and set my phone up to watch them while I did something else. Then I realized it only listened for about 2 minutes before it gave you credit, so I was able to get through the log of shows in about 40 minutes and make a killing. Because of that app I was able to get a KitchenAid stand mixer, a smoker and a bunch of other stuff because of the gift cards. I bought a card once for $10 that had 16 coupons for a BOGO pizza from Domino's. They were little stickers that you were supposed to pull off and hand in when using them. But they never asked for the stickers. They also didn't have an expiration on them. They also didn't tell anyone it was supposed to be one per order. We'd order 8 pizzas at a time. Used them for 2 years. Thousands of dollars of free pizza really help when you're a broke college kid. Not sure if it counts as a loophole, but I worked at a books, music, video store when I was in high school. We were supposed to remove the in training portion of our name tags after the first 2 weeks. I just left mine on so that customers wouldn't ask me questions. A full year of hardly anyone talking to me at work was the best full year of my life. The local Wendy's had a survey on the back of their receipt that would get you 1 free burger of your choice with the purchase of any other premium burger. They also had a special on where the Dave's Classic Single, considered a premium burger, was $2. There was no specification that the free burger had to be of equal or lower value. The first time I didn't even make a purchase. Just went into the store, found a receipt near the garbage, filled out the survey, got my code, and then ordered their Asiago cheese chicken burger, their most expensive item, with a Dave's single. 2 burgers for $2. Then of course I had a receipt for that purchase, which lead to infinite $2 for 2 burger deals. There's software that generates credit card numbers. Now you can't actually buy anything with these numbers, because when the system tries to charge them, it gets rejected. However, there was a website like many others that would give free Amazon gift cards via email for trying out partnered subscription services that offered free trials. You'd click the offer link, get redirected to the partner site, fill out all the information and use the fake number, and it would confirm on the offer site before getting rejected by the partner site. About a week later, you'd get a digital Amazon gift card in your inbox. Got enough to buy a PS2. Long time ago. Haha. One time I was at McDonald's with a friend and I got a McCrap for €2. And I decided to try out filling out the survey at the bottom of the receipt for a free drink. I got my drink and to my surprise on the receipt I got for the drink there was another code for a survey. So I tried it again and it worked. We did it about 5 times until we decided to leave. The next day I decided to try it again and for some reason it didn't work. A month ago I was at McDonald's but unfortunately didn't work again. I remember being young and going to Chuck E. Cheese. When you were pulling your tickets out. If you found this sweet spot then you could just keep pulling the tickets out. My mom had a hard time figuring out how I got 10,000 tickets in under an hour. Not sure if it's a loophole but I'm currently remoting in from home to work because of COVID. Since I'm salary I don't log in or submit a time card. Instead they require all employees hourly or salary to log in on Skype so they can track how long you're online. Except that they didn't disable the settings so I have my status remain available for 20 minutes of inactivity so I can take 50-minute lunches and not get docked for it. The soda machine at a dorm I lived in had a weird glitch. If you put in 5 cents more than the asking price and push the product select button, The machine would empty all of its change out at once. We did this a few times and got $20 minus 40 each time. 1 credit card point for every dollar spent. But up to 5x for every dollar spent abroad. I've been on a 6-year holiday abroad and they haven't brought it up. Had intermittent anemia in college that I was trying to improve. But the blood work was about $100 each time. I started donating blood and if I was too low they'd turn me away and I'd keep trying to up my iron. If I was high enough, I got to donate to a good cause. Win-win. Edit, typo. Domino's Pizza Australia. When ordering online, delivery charge was added to the first pizza. So I'd buy garlic bread, hot chips, chicken wings, a drink and some desserts and skip the delivery fee by paying by card online. Kept it up for 2 years before they updated their terms and shut the loophole. Coming to school 3 hours late. I found out that as long as you have a parent's note, you could come in late unlimited times. The only restriction is that after 15 days missed for a class, you'd fail it. So, at the beginning of the year I pressured my guidance counselor to move my 2 study periods to period 1/2 and a blow-off class, which I didn't need the credit for, to period 3. Came to school at 10 to 10:30 a.m. every day my senior year opposed to 7 a.m. Extra 3 hours of sleep. Bringing fast food into lunch. And avoiding the hectic metal detectors made it well worth. Props to my grandma for writing 140 late notes for me at the start of the year. That, my friends, is how you play the system. Edit, today is her 73rd birthday. Wish note Granny a happy birthday. Big thanks to her. My school had uniforms. It was kinda strict with those. But nowhere in the rules it stated that girls should wear the female uniform and boys the male uniform. So, I bought the male one and wore it. A lot of teachers wanted to give me detention. But when I went over the school rule book and shit, they had to stay steaming mad because I was not breaking any rules. They assumed it was implied. But the only thing stated was that the uniform was to be worn properly. Be clean and fit well. But that's it. By the time I graduated, a lot of students were doing about the same shit I was. That rule changed shortly after my generation went off to university. Sorry kiddos. Maybe you will find new loopholes to give the inspector an aneurysm. At my work, if you want to purchase more holidays they calculate the cost via what they pay you per day and then spread the total cost over a 12-month period to make the purchase easier for you. So if you buy 1 extra day and your rate is £50 a day, you only pay £4.16 a month for example. If your pay increases the cost scales with it, which gave me an idea. I knew I was in for a pretty big pay rise so I bought 10 holidays just before it happened and asked if I could pay for them up front. They agreed but thought I was mad. I got the pay rise but all the holidays were paid for up front on my old salary and they didn't clock on so I saved about £400. Nice. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you next time.